That's the thing about a team, and you know this too, is that before you can look at someone else, you got to look at yourself in the mirror, because that's how things get started, and you got to be willing to change.
Yeah, we had a big three, but we had to build our team around all minimum guys. We didn't have enough.
To win, you have to give parts of yourself to other people.
No matter what you did, we just had an advantage.
We had Big Z, Anderson Varejao, myself. I mean, you guys are out there with Dwight, Rashard, Hedo.
We're going to look at the difference in mentality between LeBron James and Michael Jordan. Now, mentality alone doesn't make MJ a better player than LeBron, but it gives you an idea why one legend dominated for as long as he did, and the other, who's great in his own right, is always looking for help.
I hate losing. I mean, it's not even a question. But I have to respect losing, because losing is a part of winning.
Yeah.
You never just, win. You got to lose to win. Losing is going to hurt.
Absolutely.
To a point where you would look at, how can I do things different? How can I change? How can I make this team better? And that's the thing about a team, and you know this too, is that before you can look at someone else, you got to look at yourself in the mirror, because that's how things get started, and you got to be willing to change. It's not about the money. It's not about anything. It's more about the pride. And, the best players, whoever's playing the best is going to win.
To start off, MJ hates losing, but he knows it's part of the process. He respects losing, and he sees it as a way to improve.
What's your emotion now, Michael? Sadness?
I'm disappointed, because I wanted to go further. But I got to accept the season that we played. We had a good season. We got this far. We got to look forward to next season. That's the only thing we can do.
He looks at himself first as the reason. He doesn't look to blame anybody else. MJ doesn't look to get rid of his roster, switch teams, or find an easier path to winning. The only way forward is to get better and overcome the obstacles.
What do you think from a team perspective, when guys are individuals throughout the whole year, how does that permeate in golf? Because with us, we get rah-rah in the locker room.
Sure.
How's that accountability, you think, work in that locker room when
it's
guys
tough.
are on different journeys?
It's tough, I've had countless conversations with some of the players, and if I can put it in the most simplest terms, is that, you have to give up bits and pieces of who you are for the benefit of the team. And that can be, something so simple as either, response, support, spending time, having lunch, dinner, either way. I learned that later in my years, because initially in basketball, I was so focused in my craft that's what matters the most. But to win, you have to give parts of yourself to other people and look at people in a different manner.
This clip really shows the leadership of Michael Jordan. Notice how he says he had to give part of himself to help his team win. He looks at each teammate differently, their motivations, their strengths, their weaknesses, and he finds a way to get the most out of them. LeBron's role players often look uncomfortable and disengaged. They lack confidence, and they play worse with LeBron. They know if they lose, it will be their fault, but if they win, no one cares about them. They also know they could be traded at any point if LeBron is unhappy.
Previous four before that, remember when he was on that ridiculous tear, shot 70% during those 4 games. He has averaged 20.
To demonstrate my point, look at the difference between the Ray Allen shot versus the Steve Kerr shot. Now, I'm not a believer that Ray Allen saved LeBron's entire legacy, but MJ told Steve Kerr, "They are going to double me, I will find you, and you will make the shot." Steve Kerr knew what to expect, and MJ gave him his trust and the confidence to execute. For Ray's shot, LeBron missed a 3, his all-star teammate grabbed a rebound, and the best shooter of all time, at that point, made the shot. When George Hill missed his free throw against Golden State and J.R. Smith had his blunder, instead of lifting their spirits, LeBron pouted on the bench. He quit, and his team got destroyed in overtime. When LeBron was asked what he could do to give his teammates confidence on the Lakers, he said that it wasn't his job, and it's just basketball.
You have to ask the individuals. I'm not a guy that you should ask that, because I don't feel a way about anybody that don't want to strive to be as close to perfect as possible. And it's just basketball. At the end of the day, it's just basketball.
This is why Kyrie left, and KD said playing with LeBron is toxic. But more importantly, it's why LeBron is not the greatest player of all time. LeBron is more concerned about his image and individual ranking than he is about winning.
I said, "Bron, you got to be better, bro." He's like, what you mean? I got this. I said, "I don't care about no stats." guard Draymond, be aggressive, shoot the ball, stop turning the ball over. Man, I said, man, we need you to be better if you want to win. It's on you. LeBron like, fuck you.
When things get tough, he folds, demands trades, or runs to a new team. When MJ comes up short, he uses it as motivation to get better. At his best, he does whatever it takes to win and takes advantage of every opportunity.
The stats only add up when you put forth the effort and you don't worry about it. You know, good things happen to those people that work hard. If I sit here and play for the stats, I would have never retired in '93. Or I still probably be chasing Wilt Chamberlain's all-time, you know, or Kareem Abdul-Jabbar all-time scoring lead. I mean, that doesn't drive me. I mean, sure, I mean, it defines to some extent for people who don't know me, or, you know, 20 years from now would never know who Michael Jordan really is. But based on the stats, he must have been pretty decent. You know, those are only ways that I look at stats. Other than that, you know, it's all about winning championships and winning.